All this breathing, everybody walking here smiling.
Let me see these questions on this one.
Y'all are prepared.
For what?
You said I scared you last week, so you prepared. Correct? I'll get another marker. I know you did reading, you finished unit 1.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. But there shouldn't be any need to complain, the night should be a breeze. Yes, love.
What is the difference between conduct and
Prudential. That's the marker, I can get a new one. One too thick.
Oh, the chicken scratch.
Hey.
Everything.
Mm.
What is that? No, she's soon gonna be raised. I mean, I don't. Prudential regulation.
How would you separate the objectives,
That it will be separated. It's just separate.
objectives of regulation?
Right, that's another arrow. Conduct and prudential regulations. Babes, I was reading. What workbook? The distance learning workbook? Sorry, there's some off of the notepad.
Yeah, for sure.
You got yours?
Prepare, summarize, research.
Yeah, Mom, Don, how about that workbook? How would you separate, if you let me do it and
Iggy, you remember we came last night?
Okay, my hands are tired.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
ready for?
Answer the questions on the board. What do you think Brian asked me, so trick or treat? What did I say, Brian?
I told them what you said is trick.
Okay, so let's go. No
Then
treat.
I did tell you I had no treat.
Yes.
The answer no tree is correct.
So, last week, what did we learn? Let's start with 0.
No, I wasn't him.
Where were you? Sitting right here in front of the glass.
We broke down what GRC meant.
Okay. And what does it mean?
Where they came from.
Governance is about the strategic plan of the board, basically. And risk is about identifying risk and ensuring that procedures are in place to reduce the extent of the risk. And the compliance part of it is, to ensure that the company is complying with laws, procedures, and policies to mitigate risk, and to ensure that the board is aware of the different types of risks.
Okay. So he wanted to add something. What do you want to add?
Go ahead.
Why? You can add. We did more than that. What else did we learn last week?
Go ahead.
Culture.
We learned about culture.
Different types of culture.
Uh-huh. and the tone is from the top. Why is culture important to GRC?
We right.
What about the silence?
We talk about that, we want to define it.
Why is culture
You gotta
important
set
to
the goal.
GRC?
You gotta set the goal, so the culture knows that, the culture within the organization is setting out the organization that this is the way we do things, and this is the way we do that.
And it allows the
But
company.
why is it important?
It allows the company to run
Compliance
better.
better.
Uh-huh, what else?
Efficiency,
Uh-huh.
low risk.
Mm-hmm.
It helps staff to be more aware of the different types of risk.
Okay.
Again.
Accountability. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite word was last week?
Kid me.
Buy it.
Buy it,
Buy
yeah,
it,
buy it.
yes. What else you learned last week?
Why is GR thing in front of Steve,
Mhm.
Enron?
Yes.
Right, right.
Who did some research on Enron?
Oh,
I hope there's a hand coming up.
Brian,
Brian?
Brian did it, Brian.
Brian,
Brian answered this question as well.
Enron, what happened in Enron?
The research you did about it, would you tell us?
Well, I know because of Enron, that's what,
Bring it back.
that's where the Sarbanes-Oxley came from.
Yes. So tell us what happened in Enron. Yeah.
It wasn't so much fraud. It was fraud out of practice.
Yeah, they took all the
They
money.
initiated Sarbanes-Oxley, which means that the senior management and executive management will be held responsible for whatever happened in the company, whereas they will be able to confiscate or impose sanctions against them.
That's right, beautiful Brian.
Okay, so that's why you see the symbol is now this, right?
Right. And then a little circle in the middle, you're missing one more.
Mm-hmm. I want y'all to be alert. What's in this one?
G.
Governance.
Governance.
What's this one?
Rest.
And this one?
Compliance.
Compliance.
And how do they interrelate? Silence again? How do they interrelate?
Mitigations, identification of the inherent risk.
Is everything that you said already, because here is where accountability rests. And in order for them to be accountable, they have to know what the risks are. And they have to know that compliance is ensuring that all the rules and the procedures are being adhered to. So it goes up. And at the same time, they intertwine. Because they make board and senior management responsible here for all of this. To answer my first question, why is some industry so heavily regulated? Think before you answer now.
Because every industry has different types of risk. So I guess the ones that have greater inherent risk would require more regulation.
Too big.
Oh, sorry.
Because some industries,
Too big.
It's based on the risk.
I
You
would
come
say
with
based
some
on the-
industries.
To protect.
Don't
No,
come.
but the question said
Why some industries?
So if you're gonna answer, you can still say the same thing, some
no, they're
industries.
so heavily regulated because.
No, you need to start by saying which industries.
financial
That's what it's looking
Financial-
for.
the
Let's
financial
see if you're
services
well read.
The financial
Financial
services
services.
Is
sector.
that the financial services? Is it the securities? Is it insurance? Is it gaming? When you see some, that's giving you the avenue to choose. You just can't be general. Because one has to compare to the next one.
Okay.
Answer again.
So the financial services sector is heavily regulated
Mm-hmm.
to provide consumer confidence, to
Mhm.
protect the financial markets.
Mm-hmm. Let me write that down. Just have a new marker. Where you been?
Oh, I'm sorry, I had to take it overseas.
Start again.
The financial services sector industry
Okay, so I'll put this here. You know what that
Right.
means, so ask me later. Uh-huh.
have to be heavily regulated
Mhm.
to protect consumers and to have consumer confidence and to protect consumers in the financial markets who are investing their, hard-earned money in the financial sector.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's only one
and then,
point.
Okay, to maintain market stability.
I'm market integrity.
Yeah.
Natasha, why don't you tell us instead of?
No, it don't work that way. No.
You testing tired people. You bringing them stress.
I'm not giving you stress.
Also,
Gotcha.
make sure
Tell
that they
us
have the
sometime.
liquidity, you know.
Tell us
liquidity,
Mhm.
liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
And based on past mistakes, they heavily regulated based on past, like Enron and the other companies, based on
For
past,
compliance.
yeah, based on past, scandals, they have to, it's more regulation, start, yeah. And that's all I have.
Okay. What else you have? Come on,
Let
Donna Benny.
me see all of
Ben.
I was right here with this all behind off.
Will you read the same thing? I want something different.
Just trying it.
Go ahead.
First time. Back in the financial industry, if it's not heavily regulated, it will ultimately affect the economic stand of the country itself.
Mm-hmm. But her stance is it is heavily regulated.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to take the stance that it is not heavily regulated?
No, I'm saying it said, why is it?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why financial sector is regulated is so that, for example.
Heavily.
Heavily regulated.
Uh-huh.
And so let's say, for example, in the Bahamas and jurisdiction that we're in, it makes us more competitive on the international market.
You think so?
It's supposed to be.
Or to conform with international
Standards.
Ah, okay.
Look at you all, part one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. FATF, look at you all.
Avoid sanctions.
Don't go over all over the place now. Focus. Focus. See, she missed last week.
I did, I was sick.
Do not go there.
Yeah,
Stick
she
to the
tell us
topic
we
at
don't-
hand.
Yeah, she tell us don't go back.
Don't go back there. Different topic.
We don't know, I think from last time. Marketability,
Number what?
international standard.
The point that she made, being competitive. That's it?
No.
Well, if you know when you come to this class, you gotta think your 4 classes with me to think.
Okay,
This is
so-
number 2. Let's
Okay,
go
so we
think.
have money transfer service businesses are heavily regulated. Come back, finance and terrorism.
Now remember now, when you make points saying that wire transfer is heavily regulated, is it the same across all jurisdiction? Because everybody uses SWIFT. Is ours more burdensome than
Yes.
other jurisdiction?
Yes.
At this point, yeah.
Yes.
Correspondent banking.
Hell yeah.
Are the rules different? Are the laws different? I'm not talking about de-risking, you know. We're looking at the laws on the books. Are our laws for wire transfer different from other jurisdictions?
No.
No, it's the same.
Oh, it's the same.
It's the same.
That's based on total international standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the money going cross-border.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Now, what the correspondent bank does is strictly compliance.
Right.
That's maybe I'll go mix the two up. Don't go down that road in compliance when you answer these questions. Because you will get 0. Because you're not answering the question nor the topic at hand. So what? Remember?
No, because I was telling,
In-
I
in-
saw
in
there
this-
was confusing me, but now when you
Right,
say
in
it.
this whole section, we're talking about the board, senior management, knowing what the risks are, how to identify it, mitigate against it, control it. And in order to do that, you need the staff. They must know the culture. They must know what the rules and the procedures are. And of course, tie into that is audit. Good culture, good integrity, then the company begins to tick the way it's supposed to. That is what this is about, not
And audit.
AML.
Okay, but add that in order for them to know the rules, even though they're set, there's still some form of training in there.
Yeah, training is
And
in there.
awareness.
Yeah, training is in there. So if we say, why are some industries so heavily regulated? We have these points here. And I'm gonna come back to this later. All right, so make sure you write it down, because I'm gonna take it off the board when I finish.
Malfunction, is that it?
Well,
The last word.
marketability international.
Girl,
Historical
what?
failures and scandals.
What?
Yes,
What that
here.
say?
And I tell you all right when I speak, not when I write.
Is it historical law?
Historical failures,
That are
scandals.
like factors.
That's totally
I have
Me
factors
too.
too.
I have some old glasses home, I'm gonna bring it to you all.
No, mama, doctor.
What did you have? Yeah, she has it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else? had
What you
factors?
have? She has it.
Sarah writing.
Come on, Sarah's writing.
Sarah's writing.
Sarah, question number 2 is for you.
What are the regulations and laws intended to?
Achieve. Mhm.
Oh, my God, you
Yes.
pass me.
No. You died out here yesterday, last week.
Sarah, you should stay back with the
You
rest.
should have stayed back.
Yeah, I don't know nothing but compliance. This is like French to me.
This is not compliance. This is governance, risk, and compliance.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so take the laws where you work. What's the laws that govern what you do? What, tell me. The laws. What laws govern what you do?
Actually, why you don't put me in the stand?
You don't understand. I'm not putting you on the stand. No, I'm not. Don't worry about them. I come into that. What are your regulations? And that's one?
What is that?
Customs Management Act. Okay, see?
Girl, that's your area, girl.
That's you, right? What other laws you have?
Failures.
Failures, that ain't factors.
What else you have?
Historical
We just have a
failures.
new one.
Mm-hmm, what's that one?
The amendment to
No.
the currency declaration.
Yeah.
The travelers?
The travelers.
Travelers, okay. Travelers currency declaration is called, like something like that. What else you have? No, I have the customs act regulation, and you have the tariff act. What else you have? That's the main pieces?
Yeah.
That's about it? Okay, so what are they intended to achieve? Why you have to hear them? Why did they implement them in the first place?
So like, you all people.
You all people?
She's not part of that.
You all people?
That's right.
You
Put a
all
vibe
people.
to the rules, I guess, of customs.
But how you get the you all people?
She mean everybody except her people who work for customs.
Because they have their own
Because they have their own rules.
But themselves.
That's what you're trying to say.
I'm only kidding with that.
Okay.
What you say again?
Number 2,
What you asked me though, had related to customs again?
whether this was here or what's your legislation?
Financial services.
Okay.
That's all I know is to collect the revenue and
No, more than that. You got me? It doesn't matter what it is. What is it intended to achieve?
Adherence to, they set rules and, you know.
and standards.
Yeah.
It's standards.
That's practice.
Remember when you answer this question, don't think about us. Think about the board and senior management. Why do they have to make sure that these acts are actually carried out by you?
Okay.
So, what are they intended to achieve?
Standards, what you say?
Adherence.
What else?
Best practices and standards.
Best practices. What else?
What about, to penalize, companies or individuals when they break the regulations and laws, like sanctions or penalties or fines?
Just have consequences.
No,
No?
no.
So you just follow them for following them's sake?
We're talking about from a board level.
Yeah, the board trying to avoid getting fines, reputational damage, all them type of things.
Right.
For not complying with the standards set by the laws and regulations.
Right.
That's what it intended.
The goal of the company or the organization.
No, but it's just to make sure that everybody,
Exactly.
Yes,
all participants
Conform
are
to the
conform to the
Mhm.
reference or what the standard practice is.
She would say no.
You already have this here.
Yeah, best practice. Yeah.
Requirements.
You say set by the board? Set by the board.
This is from a board level and senior management.
Unfairness.
And to make sure the whole company know the culture.
The culture is set from here.
Child, well, not child. Clearly we wrong.
You got that? Okay. What's the answer for 3 then?
So what's the answer?
So what's number 2 is a,
You come back.
Oh, y'all can do that part.
Well, boss,
Think.
What is the
I'm
difference?
saying, yes, but
Mhm.
everything we say is no.
I don't know that. You tell me.
And
Mm-hmm.
if I'm
Next
thinking,
time.
sorry,
Mhm.
if I'm thinking from a board perspective, right,
Mhm.
let's say my organization, they meet, they create certain policies and procedures. I'm thinking that they're creating this so that, apart from the standardized, practices, whether it be from the legislation or from international standards, is to make sure that at the end of the day, once practiced, one, the company is gonna be in a more profitable position. Not being, I'm just thinking, I'm thinking from
Go ahead.
their perspective. So we have these policies in place. You follow them, we're gonna adhere to local regulations, international regulations. We're gonna make sure that, the way we operate is profitable, that we avoid any form of fraud, defamation, all of these things. I'm just trying to, like, what else is there that they're doing it for? I mean, ultimately,
Just to make a profit.
exactly,
It's about
companies
money.
go and
They make money.
to make a
They won't
profit,
follow
and
the
if we
laws,
don't
but
have
then they will
certain
make
policies
money.
in place, people kind of go amok. So guess what, we wanna make sure that those that are employed or within our employment are operating within a certain set of standards, that's not breaking the law, while at the same time giving us the productivity that we need to be profitable. I mean, even if we think about customs,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking custom has imposed upon us certain acts to make sure that, one, not only that the government get a revenue, but that there is no doubt across the board as to what the requirements are, as far as the expectation and how we, as a country, are looked at from, everything is the way we do things internationally.
You saying from the board, right? Look at it from
So,
the board-
that's,
board
I'm
point of
trying to
view,
think,
right?
what else?
So don't you have a requirement based on all of these, based on your budget as to how much money you need to bring in?
Continue.
At a macro level?
Continuity
Have
of
a
profits.
Yeah,
That's profitability.
Not really.
What?
cannot be,
Cannot be.
cannot be. Yes,
They
you have
have-
a
it's
certain
about
level of
revenue.
income to bring in to go into the consolidated fund.
Continuity of profits, right?
You mean customs?
Yes,
Yes.
you have to
Yes,
have
ma'am.
it,
They
yes.
They know money.
You can't operate without
That's
it.
why they
That's the
operate.
rules.
I
That's
never-
why they make it
but
a
See, that
business.
wants
I'm
you
not
to
at-
give banking
I'm not at
answers
that-
because it'll come to you easier.
I'm not
She
at
needs
that-
to learn how to
I'm not
apply
at that
this.
level to find out what our mandate is to how much.
I ain't asking you how much it is. We're saying this is the purpose for
That's
all
the
of this.
that's the
Overall
aim.
objective is
The
to make
aim is
money.
To make money.
But you have to make money within the
Make
laws.
money.
Yeah, I know we
That's why everybody lie and make the aspiration for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We lying.
So the whole purpose of the regulations intended for you to achieve is to make money for the government, because you're a government entity, within the laws. So these laws are structured in a way to encourage your to make money. You got it? That's what these are for. So let me go over to the bankers because they're screaming. Okay, bankers. Bankers. Number 2.
No, bankers, go ahead.
Come, bankers.
Regulations and laws intended to achieve security
Security for who?
for the bank.
How?
For them to make sure that they don't take on any
The risk,
the risk.
Well, there's always be risk, but there's a mitigator.
And I just
It's
said,
a mitigation.
Yeah.
You can't avoid risk.
You can't avoid risk. Risk and everything.
Yeah, that's
It may be
exactly.
great, it may be
To
small.
minimize the risk.
Yeah,
in
mitigate.
the way you, in the way you do things.
In the way in which you do things,
Yeah.
but risk is always there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I still want integrity, financial stability and integrity. Shut up, man.
I ain't hearing nothing.
I mean, no bank goes into business to fail, okay? And we already have profitability, so the idea between these regulations is to make sure they are.
Let's go. You
So
want
that
need
was-
coffee?
That was the first one.
So that's the same thing, protecting your assets and all of
No,
that.
protect consumers.
And then protect
The
the industry.
assets, their assets.
Yeah.
And to protect
The
the market.
company's assets as well.
No, we're talking about the consumers now.
Okay.
Okay.
What else?
Protect the market integrity. Market integrity of the market.
Carolina.
Yeah, but it says, what in terms of the regulation and laws.
What are they intended to achieve?
Reduce financial crime.
Yes, ma'am.
You just have no AML.
No, but see, she
Financial
chose-
crime is
hold
not
on.
just AML.
Right, but then you see she chose an industry, she said versus banking. So that's why that's what applies.
yes. You see what I'm saying?
No, that's why she's trying to get her to
anti-money
understand.
laundering. You
Right.
can't put that there.
Right.
Understood.
No, I'm trying to get him to understand, you can't put that there.
Right,
When you put all of anti-money laundering and fraud and all those things together, they're all called financial crime.
yeah,
If you use the wrong words,
Yeah.
it's wrong.
yeah.
Okay.
How fair market?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said market integrity, but that ain't the same thing.
Fair market. Something across
There's
the
no
board.
such thing as market integrity.
That the same thing.
Confidence, consumer confidence,
Yeah.
Yes.
consumer confidence.
That's what she said.
You can't go along. You better go tell them CFA people.
Oh, she said no, she didn't write that.
What? I didn't hear her.
Consumer protection.
I said consumer confidence.
Confidence, sorry.
Consumer confidence.
That's what them said.
Oh, the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Reduce it.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm. What else? Oh, hi, stranger.
She was here last week. Oh, hi, stranger.
She was not here.
No.
To give her the register.
Yeah.
What else?
But you ain't talking writing though. You ain't writing.
Mm-hmm. So if you're watching on the board, you
That's
miss
your
it.
business. That's what she trying to tell you.
But then I said no, you're writing if you're writing.
No, just as you don't understand.
Well, training.
Yeah.
Yes. And then consumer training?
What do you
What
mean
that
by
mean?
that?
That is the purpose for law.
Train
The whole laws and
consumers?
regulations. Yes, you have to inform your consumers. Don't forget now, when we speak about the financial industry, we talk
Yeah,
about any one of
awareness.
these.
Consumer awareness.
Consumer
Yeah.
Awareness more.
They call it training.
So they call it trainer, but.
Yeah, but
We
that's
put
okay.
awareness, so I
That's right, that's
understand.
not what that is. It's
Consumer
training.
awareness.
You're right.
Shush. I gotta break, but she got.
Complying, I still would comply and say that's
Say
with
encourage.
international standards.
Yeah, encourage
Because the
competition.
regulations and the laws,
It says over international requirements.
oh, never mind.
She just continuing on.
I continuing on.
Yeah, okay, brain not percolating.
All right,
Okay,
we need
coffee. And if you want to, I guess you could put it there.
See your
You
word?
could.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, okay.
So it is slash integrity.
It depends on which sector you're talking about. It changes.
So, sorry, I wasn't here last week and I've not.
Don't worry about that.
No,
You
I-
didn't read the chapter.
No, she ain't reading.
No, I was traveling and they're just really giving me everything now.
That's
They
okay.
really,
Posted later.
on Monday.
You're the one I sent it to?
No, Miguel
Oh.
sent it to me. Yeah, sorry.
Girl, that's
No,
okay.
but I'm gonna go through the
Mhm,
video
go ahead.
of what, but just so I could make sure.
Mhm.
You're saying when we're approaching the questions, it is very important to first note the industry in which you're, or the
Mhm.
jurisdiction in which you're dealing
Mhm.
with. Okay.
You
So
see the
never
question?
generalized.
No.
Okay.
You saw the question?
So we
for
still
the first
can't,
paper?
why we can't say it's set,
Oh.
to set
At
penalties
least you
again?
saw that.
No, I,
I saw that.
Because I mean, if you have these regulations and laws, shouldn't you set out the penalties or the
But that's-
consequences of not adhering to those?
That's a consequence.
Yeah, but I mean like,
But that, but is that really why
But it- that-
we're
they're
so
not-
heavily regulated?
okay, yeah, alright.
The industry isn't regulated to punish you. The punishment comes when you do not follow the law. So you try to do everything that you can within the law in order not to be penalized. Now, it depends on how the question is worded. If it speaks about the consequence of not conforming to the law, then you speak about penalties and sanctions from a regulatory perspective. Yeah?
So can I say on laws,
Mhm.
these also to facilitate trade?
To facilitate trade? Yeah. Mhm. So what else would you add here for you? You just said it.
Let me trade. I mean,
Yeah.
these laws will assist in facilitating trade.
So that along with when we told you about your budget, it's all about the macroeconomics of the country.
Okay.
Because your whole function is to generate income. So you're part of the whole macroeconomic factors of the economy. Who breathe no Lord? Let's go, 3. You realize 45 minutes you're in question 3. Let's go.
You've been in here 45 minutes already?
Yes, I'm doing on question 3. You haven't brought me the question yet that I want to put on the board.
What?
Let's go.
What is the difference between
Conduct and prudential regulation.
Now, conduct.
If someone want to hear from tonight. Going down the line, I didn't hear from them too. No, down this way.
They're in
Yeah.
the back, they're in the back.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Where? What did I hear you? What, the difference between conduct
She
and...
said profitability. She was
For
saying
number
that.
3?
Number 2, she was screaming
You mean one
profitability.
word? You think that's some more?
No, I was giving plenty words, so
I hear you.
I rested for the rest of it.
No, you're saying plenty ways behind this show. Let's go. Come on. What is the difference between conduct and prudential regulation?
Conduct.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What you mean you ain't reached there yet?
It's about ensuring orderly and transparent financial market processes,
Mm-hmm.
proper relationship between market participants,
Mm-hmm.
and due care when dealing with customers and stakeholders.
Okay.
Consumers and stakeholders.
So what's prudential?
Flip the page. Prudential is about the stability of the financial services industry, and which is underpinned. And
Okay.
has two
So let's just
forms.
put the word stability.
And has two forms, micro and macro. This is page 17, for prudential. Yeah, page 17
And what you said is conduct?
Repeat the whole thing.
That's about a summary here.
10, it's about orderly and transparent market processes. The proper relationships between market participants and about exercising due care when dealing with consumers and stakeholders. That's page 10 and 17 and 15.
So what's the difference? You define them, what's the difference?
One is stability.
No, I want you to set in the back here. What's the difference?
The business conduct, eh?
The business conduct. What's the difference between the two?
One stable and one unstable.
I hear something.
Sarah?
One stable and one is not stable? Sarah, come on.
I don't know the difference.
Yes, you do. Nothing wrong with trying. Let's go. I have 1, 2, 3 persons at the back.
I could just take a while.
Please do. Yeah. Okay.
More focusing on the process. And prudential is looking at like the whole thing,
Whole industry.
the whole industry.
And conduct looks like more like on the business processes.
The day-to-day.
The
Like
day-to-day.
day-to-day operation.
Right. The conduct is looking at how the organization actually interacts with its customers. And this is looking at whether or not they are in compliance with the laws and regulation
Okay, so let's repeat that.
for each sector. You understand? When you speak about prudential regulation, you're talking about the regulator. Ensuring that the entity or the organization is in compliance with the rules. When you speak about conduct, conduct is talking about the actual company. How does it interact with its consumers?
So conduct is more like an internal thing.
It's an internal
And
thing,
then
looking at the
financial-
processes
right.
and policies and how it deals with its customers. And remember, what is one of the main things you look at when you talk about conduct within an organization?
Culture.
The culture. And along with that culture is the next C. No, C.
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 C, babe.
C. One thing is culture. And the next thing is what?
Compliance? No.
No.
Conduct? No, we can't.
We're talking about dealing with your consumers. One is the culture, and another
Complaints.
process that you must have in place.
Complaints.
Complaints. And I told you last week, you must be able, I don't know if a question will come, but you have to be able to explain how a complaint process works.
Yeah, because I'm going to that too last week.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Besides that.
And I emphasize that.
in the question?
No, it may not be in one of these here, but it may be in one of the other ones to come. And I never want you to forget in your mind, depends on how the question is worded. One of the key things to get the answer right may be a complaints process. Because that is key when you speak about governance, risk, and compliance. Because the board always has to know were there any material complaints. Because the material complaints addresses two things. One, compliance. Someone is not following the rules. Two, risk. There are risks. There may be deficiencies. And third, the board needs to be aware. So that's the only way the board could know, besides having its internal and external audit, is that based on complaints, something is not right. Something is happening. There's a rumble within the organization.
That usually allows for changes in the procedures.
Yes. So that's key when you talk about governance, risk, and compliance. That is the rumble. You know, like when your stomach begins to rumble around 11:30, telling you I'm getting ready, I'm getting hungry. That's what a complaint does. Is that a little soft one, or it's a big blow?
But isn't that basically, like, even when you look at regulations, they look at certain either complaints or errors that have
Yeah.
occurred to see how they can enhance it, right?
Exactly. So it leads to a lot of different things. And remember now, when you have complaints, complaints can move into litigation risk.
What's that going
And reputation risk, yes. So those are the things you have to look at. Compliance, which means somebody is not following policies and procedure. The risk, compliance risk, litigation risk, could even be strategic risk, could be operational risk, depends on what the complaint is. And of course, the board needs to be aware of whatever's material. We got that?
Can you see them complaints, three complaints
No,
again?
no.
I
didn't
missed
catch
one.
Because you all were talking.
No, we wasn't
moving,
talking.
trying to figure out what it was.
He's listening to Sarah through the ship up here.
Just corn chips.
And they just go to the last one.
The board needs to be aware.
Of whatever material, complaints or whatever material.
And then you
The
say it was
risk,
3 types of complaints.
and someone is
Not
being
risk, not
compliant.
complaints, risk.
Risk,
Oh.
yeah.
She said it could be operational.
Operational, strategic, compliance, litigation risk.
Thanks.
Oh.
Say that wasn't on her.
So why you didn't get it?
Because we couldn't hear over the Sarah chip.
No,
That's not
don't
true.
lie on me. Why you calling something else?
Number 4.
Something, he could be ever there.
You know that.
You shared.
Number 4.
I don't know.
Strategic, operational, compliance, and
Number 4.
How would you separate objectives and
Mm-hmm. How would you separate it?
Oh, would you separate the
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You want me to tell you? Different objectives within this book.
No, I getting someone from the back.
Or page 20.
Shush.
Page 20. And in the blue writing.
They booking colorful.
Black bold writing.
What, consumer protection?
Right.
Fair and efficient transparent markets.
Mm-hmm.
Reducing systemic risk.
Oh, she have it up there.
Reducing
Of course, that's the
financial
same as
crime.
question number
She
2.
have it right there.
Enhancing consumer
That's a different
confidence.
word.
There's a different wording.
They
But
get stuff
the
that,
2 and 4 means the same thing?
Yes.
So
Nah, you thought you wrong for that message.
No, but I'm telling you that's how a question
Yeah.
can come,
So
and
you
it's telling you the same thing that's in the book, and you're gonna sit
And that's
there
just
lost
how
and
they
write
break the
all
exam
kind of things
question.
that are not relevant.
That's just how they break those exam
Exactly,
questions.
there you go. Can I erase this now?
You're page 20.
And you see it hard, how hard it was to pull this out of you,
I swear, man. And it right here in the book.
and it's in the book. I just worded it a different way. Okay? It is fair.
Darn right. You're right.
good to know, eh?
It's good to know. I just asked you the same thing a different way. Take it off. It's almost 7 o'clock, and we spend the majority of our time on what question? We spend the majority of our time, no, right here.
I swear. This ain't right.
We spend the majority of our time right here.
that's working.
So I hope next week is much better. So what does that have to do with us? Whatever's 6, be here.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
What? They don't change. Well, how it change?
Oh, your printer at work.
I can see if I can
That's cute.
print like 10 pages at a time
10 pages.
during the day.
This book in total was 500 pages.
Like,
Something
like,
around there.
like,
335.
At least this
I
one.
print all 335 at my work
They
printer
don't
on my
they
lunch
don't
break.
tell me how much pages, but we order a very specific amount
That's
of paper
foolish.
every month.
You're doing this for work
Even
or?
if I print it, it's gonna eventually satisfy
Oh, yeah.
the risk of the print.
They
Back to
said
the
it's
question.
So I have to
No, she paid for herself. I know she doing it though.
No, that's right. Hey, but she's coming out so twice a week.
Hold on. I mean, Sarah.
I can't
See that? See that? What's that?
questions?
Question of
Is that you being nice tonight?
You be quiet from there.
What
is this?
Right now.
Exactly.
Which question is this?
This question one, on assignment one basis, but we said,
Okay, I gotcha.
yeah, question one.
Question one, shall we?
But you don't have to see it.
Assignment one.
What did I tell you all last week? Last week I told you all what, go home, finish reading chapter one and start
After
looking.
class, and
Yes.
finish. Well, I already did the chapter.
That question was so hard.
Approaching the questions.
Next week Monday, next week Monday is when I can start.
That one was so hard. I skipped that
Yeah,
one.
man,
And I got
I
it
could
too.
go home and do that, man.
I skipped that one and I got it number.
All I can hear is excuses.
I went to number two.
All right, put on your thinking cap. Let's go.
Okay, so which firm we choosing?
You choose
You
your own.
gotta choose
It's
one
being
thing.
asked if to a new member of staff who was
What happened about here, why you don't approach you? Well, then why you open your mouth, say, I don't have questions.
Girl, you know she always have copies, what you doing now? Oh, the box of tea. See? You can put one right now for you.
Yeah, right.
So, Ms. Ancho,
You need a copy?
Yeah.
You need a copy?
Copy?
No, I have it.
Okay, see you later.
A
colored copy?
Please. You don't want to make notes, right, by the flash.
She say no.
Less talking because I'm not giving you no answers. Let's go.
Why don't it be like that?
It is not almost 8 o'clock.
I'm trying to be on like. I need an hour.
so you all better write back.
Okay, so let's decide on which.
This video coming from somewhere in
What video?
They sending out the class.
You all get, you
Who's
get
watch
it.
that? We done been here, why we gonna watch it again?
Oh, you can remember everything she said.
He's right down.
Well, I wasn't here last week, I
You
gotta watch
ever,
it.
you
Yeah,
ever
you
get,
gotta
you
watch
ever
that
get
one.
the video?
I never get no video. Y'all get video?
I never get no
If
video.
you ask for it, you will get it.
Girl, you the ask for we don't get that.
Oh, I got it.
Cause you wasn't here.
Which video?
I never get a video either.
Last week, I was talking.
Last,
You mean last
yes,
week?
someone told me that today.
We-
There was,
we- it's
on a
the
YouTube
class
thing.
of Randy did with us, so
We
we
don't-
the second
we
day.
don't get
She
it.
saw the video.
On
And
YouTube?
someone who wasn't in the class.
On
She told me
YouTube?
that she texted to me today.
On YouTube.
Yeah, yes, I
She's
started
trying to
on
get just
YouTube, yeah, I
the
started to
house.
watch it.
Yeah.
And she saw all us in the
And
class.
she saw it.
That
yeah.
means they can see us now.
No,
No,
I
you
don't think she
can't
saw
see
it,
her.
though. You
It
just
pointed
hear
to the
it.
board.
Discussion.
I don't think they have it uploaded.
You hear the discussion
Get up to
going,
the
but
computer
you don't
and
see
see.
nobody. She didn't say anything yet.
No, remember the guy used to come up with the camera in the back.
Yeah.
Emote all these things all night.
No, but it's the
So
same
we get to
computer.
the jurisdiction, a sector, and the regulator, and go from there. She already said back from last week, you choose the regulator, which you do in your sector, and your jurisdiction. So you better pick your force of Bahamas, the financial sector, so we know, and the regulator will do. Okay? And just lay out the coach regulation, you know.
You was a laugh, let us say.
In the beginning.
Yes, and I watch it on the regulation.
I like everything.
Lady talking.
We was brainstorming.
There's no brainstorming when you go on.
That's true.
Who else needed one?
I need a cold coffee.
Oh, this is like I want one of them, mate. Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right.
So what you wanna think about now?
What I want you to think about?
I need in reference to the question, this company, or any company in particular?
How you gonna answer the question? How you gonna?
Our jurisdiction is Bahamas.
Yes.
What sector y'all want to choose?
Financial services
Okay,
industry.
financial services industry, jurisdiction Bahamas.
Cause you can come to class at 9:08.
And the regulator would be
You know, you always have a choice.
I done pay my money, I have to come here. Halloween,
Say Halloween, Halloween is a holiday.
that's what I can't figure out.
I was hoping to believe person, I don't like so he was talking about that today.
Oh, yeah, my God is dead.
Come on, let's go, less talking and thinking. Come on, come on. Who did the math? How many words should this be?
They
Tell
said,
them.
300.
no, between,
120,
120?
yes.
For what?
Seriously?
For question 1.
120? I did 300.
How you get 300?
Oh, you're on the
And then I was gonna do
6.
600 for 20.
Yeah, okay.
The
For the
instructions
20.
say,
Okay.
the instructions say the amount of words per question should reflect the number of marks
Okay.
allocated.
So how you get 120?
All of them
But how
for
you
10.
get, so how you get to 120?
That's right, because I put 300 for 10 questions, and I put
Because you would go based on
600.
the points, right?
I put 600 for 20 questions, so that comes to roughly 3,000.
I remember this. And 20 would be like double then, I think.
Right, you see? So the 10 will be 300, and the 20 points will be 600, and that's 3,500.
It is? Oh,
That's
yeah.
what because I did my question.
So it's like about
1,000. So
300.
120 will give you 500. It's 3,500 right there.
Okay, so these 10 point
What's
questions
stressing me
are
out?
I said, you
120,
120 for
right?
10 marks.
You mean you only get to this point yet, Ida?
I'm saying, and that's not how we get it. 120 words, I can't figure out, I can't
So
understand
that's
that.
just an average.
That's an average, if you go
just make sure
on,
it's totally don't go over 3.5.
Right.
if you go on at 200
But if
words
you-
for one
but if you-
question,
Yeah,
you're
you
locked
can roll
box.
over overall.
You're locked
Yeah.
box.
So what you
it'd be
what
240
you
for these
gonna
20 point questions, eh?
You can't go over 3.
Work it out.
Sarah, you hear that?
No, I already did my calculation.
But Sarah,
I understand for that.
Sarah, you have 300 words for one.
For one question, yeah, because it's 3,500 words.
But
We
some
have
of
to
them are
know.
worth
But some of
more
them were
points.
20, that one only worth 10.
But I'm saying though, if I do 300 times 4 of them,
Right.
and then the ones for 20, I do 600.
Okay,
That's what I'm gonna come up to
Sarah, do it
3,500.
works for you.
yeah, girl.
You see what I'm saying?
Alright.
I get this.
You got
Okay,
that?
So if you do yours at 120, what you doing for 20 points?
That's what I'm saying.
Gotta do plenty.
You got
And
plenty?
Yeah, but then you just
Because
double
the
it,
questions are more
because it's 10 and 10.
Them, child.
So you can just double it.
No, but if you do it like that, that's only, but it's only 1,200 words.
What?
So Sarah, right,
Yes.
it's only an average.
You see what I'm saying?
We only averaging, babe.
Yeah, but I didn't get this down.
Sarah, you
No
start
problem,
that
you do
just
whatever you gotta
calculated.
do.
You say, yeah?
I do 300 and the set for 20, I do it at 600.
Okay, I think she's doing that.
I do come up to 3.5.
How you do your calculations, Caitlin? What's your calculations say?
That was the first time I even tried to do this.
You wanna read the
But no,
instructions?
I did not write the instructions, but I didn't actually like try to work out the word
This could
count
be
for
like
each
250
question.
each, I feel some birds.
But try and do it, see if you can.
There's no coffee right here.
No, I say, hey, copy them here.
On average.
What,
You gotta say it's accurate.
You do like 6.
I cut him,
Sarah, right?
I cut him right off. I did one.
For the 10 point questions, right?
What is-
I like you to be like that style, you know.
What?
600.
250
For the other.
You could go and read this one yourself. This one is sticker.
Read
Read this one.
Right, so you roughly between the 3,000 and 3.5, you see?
You see appendix 1?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bathroom.
This is
The
the
bottom.
bottom.
Eh? Because when I did my
This is the
question
next
2,
box,
I
the
got
one
2
I gave
papers,
you.
so
You
if I
don't
go
put
over
balance
this
3 in this
300,
box.
I can still
Appendix
go over,
one.
like probably a little 50 or
For
20, you see
unit
what I'm
one.
saying?
Okay.
So
This
two
is
days.
the Bahamas approach, so you need to read it.
Miss Archer,
I didn't copy this one. Read it.
so since they have this in questions form like this, right, that means you don't have no introduction, right?
Right.
Conclusion.
Notes.
Just have
Yeah.
conclusion.
Yeah, I got this.
You ain't gonna actually put introduction and
No, you
conclusion.
just
You
put
have
it
to
right
have an
away.
intro and you have to end it with
Yeah.
something.
So,
Yeah.
So it's the same concept, you just saying, well, I got them other papers was one question.
make sure you read this one.
So you have 2,000 money could work, we do it like that. And extra 400 for your footnotes.
No,
and
the
stuff.
other one, the question was living in one paragraph, and the question is,
Yes.
maybe two parts.
This
This,
is
all
your
these are
appendix
separate
one.
questions dealing with separate
Got it?
things. So you have
That's your appendix
you have
one.
to clearly
All right.
identify questions.
One more time.
Of course, of course, you can't just write
It's
it as
not
one.
one general paper with parts.
That's disclosure, no.
Okay.
This is the capital requirements, that's disclosure.
Hold on, you give us that?
No.
No,
You
I
talking
said
and
two
you
things.
writing.
Oh, so but that tick thing was right there. What is this? Is it the same
So what
thing?
is this was actually the,
So what part you?
I thought this was actually for question 1A.
What?
This
This is general knowledge,
What is actually?
based on last week in this week's class.
So what you saying is another part to the same?
Yes, it's on their website.
It's on their website. On their website, they call.
Who read appendix
Okay,
one?
there's another document she's
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
I read
I
one,
read
yes.
appendix one, I saw
Okay, so
the.
this is the
I went
Bahamas
on
approach.
capital requirements.
So you
But
ask
you
a
say the rest
question.
is on their
one.
website.
Basil 2 and 3.
This one here?
So you
No,
have
there's
to-
another
you have
paper we
answer
have to
question.
look up.
You have to answer
It's
from the
2B.
Bahamas perspective. And I
It's
know
on
I
our
sent you to the
website.
site, then some people can
Capital
say they
requirements
lost.
on the
It's
Basil
right
2
there.
and 3.
So
No,
you
but
give
this
us
is
this.
enough for.
That's true.
This is enough for.
It might be
So
simple
we
to
have
you,
to
but
look
it's
at
simple to
what I
everybody
want
else.
to do.
Ain't no problem, but you ain't need to go rocket
Yeah,
science.
okay.
There's two
You
and
take
three.
one of the
Okay.
papers, so parts they call it governance to the
All right.
regular.
Sometime next week. Come back to class. Try to get to
Okay.
class.
So don't say I didn't give it to you. Then, there is a footnote referring to this document. Because you're gonna do a unit further down, talk about culture. So in chapter 1 at the end, it summarizes this. So I suggest you read it. This is how big it is.
Was actually
Nothing
that
better than
last
an examiner
forgiveness.
sees you've read the footnotes and you can expand on it. Corporate governance, and this is
Yeah,
integrity.
because we, I know we did the GRC, I think I saw it by the CT. I just saw it more detailed.
All right,
One more time, to see.
all right. So the first thing I gave you all is a snapshot of the financial crisis. The chapter
This
speaks
looks
about
real
it
thick.
vaguely,
Keep it there.
Stop
keep it there,
complaining.
keep
I'm
it
just
there.
saying it look at real thick.
doesn't matter.
I had the science here.
Because the more you read these kind of things, the more you get the language for GRC.
Okay.
Okay? You have to write the language for GRC.
Where did you get research?
OECD.
Okay.
It's a footnote in your chapter.
You wait till my camera disappears.
Camera going to you upside like all
It keeps on, whatever. Oh, yeah, thank you.
Got it?
Look at you,
All right.
you get us. Let me just see something.
What?
Look at
All right, so, that's that. Answer the question now.
Where is it?
What?
That's why I laugh.
Doesn't work, okay.
Yes.
Modest.
I know, right?
You're not reading?
I
didn't
told
read
you,
the
didn't
upper.
hear when I tell you in your workbook, and you said,
Yes,
no,
it
no,
is.
no, 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 I told you that. You understand? I might not have read it, but
Did I
I
not
skimmed
tell you
through
what
it.
to read? Didn't I say read?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you
So
said
we,
to
we,
read,
so
but I ain't going there.
basically, we can even read the workbook too, eh?
Of course.
Yes.
Good questions look like they have definitions. Okay,
I only have.
then you gotta read. All right, so let's talk.
The workbook.
Explain as if to a new member of staff who has no previous, you see these keywords, where's my marker?
Right.
This one. All right, so before you begin writing, what do you need to think about?
The framework.
It says new, so your language, new member.
New.
No previous
No.
compliance
Approach.
experience.
Mhm.
So that's, you have to keep it simple.
You have to keep it simple. First thing, keep it simple.
Keep it as simple as you can.
Mm-hmm. What else? Simple, concise.
That's like what they say, the such transaction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else?
And use the right term?
Yes.
And did she tell us too? And we did last week?
Yes. Some people right here. Okay. So let's go. Industry. Which one say you use that?
Financial services sector, yes.
Which one? Which one? We have more than one regulator.
Banking.
Okay.
Probably so, Securities Commission.
We do not hear, we do that.
So we've answered this one. Correct?
The sector.
You've chosen.
You've chosen the sector.
Yeah.
Now, what is their approach?
Central bankers, one is, meaning,
Mm-hmm. That's what they're asking for. It's in the chapter.
is a risk-based,
Okay. Securities Commission?
more compliance, I would say.
Yeah, Lord.
They're moving to risk-based.
On these forms.
Is there an approach called compliance?
No.
No. What's the approach? There's no approach called compliance approach.
Based on that, assessment, we have the all regulators, what's supposed to come.
That's what she said. She said they're moving towards it. So what is it?
Done it yet.
You know what I noticed in this book, this thing with GRC, they talk about, what's it called, rules-based,
Yes.
um,
That's the way she's supposed to be.
rules-based,
rules-based,
and
yeah.
and there was another one. I can't remember the other one. I even saw an AML question on it, where they were comparing the two rules-based and.
Yeah, because if you still, whenever you
Yeah.
speak about the regulator, that's
Right.
the
Oh, you know what?
approach.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I got you.
Brian, look, you helping out.
What? I saw that in the email? How's it going?
Space.
There's one more.
And they're moving towards a
I
risk.
can't remember. I
Okay.
can't remember.
They keep talking about
Right now,
rules-based.
they're in the space.
Yeah, this one has to do with that. But don't forget now, it has to be based on this sector.
Just because I'm gonna be there, I'm not anyway.
Don't get out there, certain times it's Thursday, you see all. Cause when we first come here, it was like, no chilling.
Principal.
But that one, yeah.
Right, so we're saying,
They're
yeah.
not,
It's
they're not,
rules-based.
they're rules-based.
Take the 111, you know, yeah, make mine.
It's on page 16, it's on page 61, they have the different types of approaches.
Page 61. Page 61, right.
But we
Regulatory
should-
approach,
Yeah,
risk-based
somebody
approach.
did.
Because they talk about that a lot in the
Yeah.
chapter.
But it has to be the regular.
You're right, you're leaning over.
It's not even asked. No.
Page 61.
Regulatory approach, it's not
So
done
I just
yet.
gotta go in details, but these two approaches.
Yeah, exactly.
Page 61.
The rest is the one. Yeah, but you see, it says has to be implemented. That's the thing.
Yeah, page 61 talk about the regulatory approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fucking certain
Starting on page 61,
Too far back. We need something that's.
regulatory.
Securities Commission is new space.
And moving to risk-based, right?
So she say.
So she say. Okay, so you've done this. Now you need to write it.
decide where to find the documents and everything.
Do they have to get familiar? Why are you telling them?
That's the guidance. That's it, that's the guidance, that's where it stops.
Once you know who the regulator is, then they need to learn where to find it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yes, it's right there. When it
They
comes
have
to
tonight,
corporate
tomorrow
guidance.
night, they're playing nights.
Let's
go.
Let's go back on that. Open it up.
Come, let's go, let's go. How you gonna approach this? How many words you have? How many?
300.
250, 300.
Actually, we gotta do like 370. Well, we can't do 370 and then 670 on the other words. Bring the tree
Don't
back.
forget your footnotes though, and gotta.
No, they ain't counting,
Oh, they ain't counting footnotes. Okay, I see.
No,
They don't count the footnotes?
No, they have it in the instructions on the front.
But in tax
reference,
references,
yeah,
accounted.
yeah,
okay.
But not footnotes,
Okay.
not a bibliography or reference page or contents page.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Give me more.
They feel happy to start.
I see, okay, thank you for that.
Okay.
So you could go up to 300.
How many words per line?
How many what?
Words per line.
Gotcha. My dad was the-
What font? 12?
Yeah.
Okay, so 12. So how many words on a line?
It depends on how the word is.
No, roughly. Roughly. I think number 10. Yeah.
10 to 15.
So, no, so many words.
This question right here, how 15
10 to
words
12,
on one
right?
page, 12
Okay,
words
so 10 to 12.
on one line.
Yeah, 10 to 12.
And how many words we need?
Like 370.
3,500.
But that's the
No,
total of all
but number
seven
You
one.
went for
words.
number one, we can
Oh,
use, we could go with
we could go
370.
we go 350. She there a little risky with the 370.
So that's about
350.
35.
35 lines.
Yeah, 350, between 300 and 350 is.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
35 lines. You see how I'm thinking?
We can't go to
So
4.
we have 35 lines,
You could go to 4 if you know another one for 6 something.
No, you get a half.
roughly. How many paragraphs that is?
1, 2, 3.
You gotta balance it.
That's 2 page.
You gotta be able to balance. You see what I'm saying? You can't just think of word count. And then you haven't answered the question.
We gotta
Exactly.
take a word count.
No,
Trying
the
to
question
get
is
everything.
You say how many paragraphs?
Right.
Answer the question
Like
first
5.
and then reevaluate. And then
Like
how-
5.
No, you have to put something there.
you have to put
Cut it
something
down.
there.
Yeah.
You gotta
Not
put the cut
fluff.
down.
That says it.
Like 5.
Not fluff.
Like,
That's
you
what I'm
gotta roll
saying.
for fluff.
Because around this, at the end, you may write 500 words,
And then you
but that's
have to
fluff.
Yeah.
So let's get to the point.
Focus.
How many paragraphs you need?
That, 2.
No,
No,
that's too big.
Three.
Oh, 5.
Too big?
I say
So that's too
5.
much?
4 to 5.
How you get 2 paragraphs?
You may
35 lines.
question?
I say about 3,
You want us up
3 to 5. 3 to 5, yeah.
Paragraphs?
Yes.
35 lines on
You
one
can't put everything in
paragraph?
one big
No, I'm not saying
paragraph.
one. I'm saying 5 paragraphs for 35 lines.
That's too many
No.
paragraphs.
That's
said
exactly.
2 to 3.
About 3.
2 to
You said
3?
2 to 3.
Okay.
You said 5. Oh, I don't know 5 now.
I said it's 2 paragraphs.
2 paragraphs.
2 to 3 paragraphs.
Yeah.
No, first you say that's big.
All right, so what you can write in the first one?
Oh.
That's why you have to think. Don't write all over the place. Because at the end,
Bring it in.
you understand.
Like they say.
Answer the question.
Answer the question. You
All
gotta
right.
lay it out, you gotta talk which jurisdiction you're coming from and who the regulators are.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
To introduce your jurisdiction, your regulator, and the sector.
Just remind me of national exam, you used to tell you to do your, before you write the exam, lay out what you're gonna write.
Exactly.
You
Of
better.
course, you
But it
better.
help you pass though.
Uh-huh.
What is
Is
RA?
your focus? You tell me. No. What's RA? What's the first one?
Regulators?
The regulator's approach.
But I mean, and say jurisdiction, regulator, and sector.
Oh,
So why
So
do
with
you
the all
regulator
for-
again?
regulator's approach. What is the
Oh.
regulator's
Let's
approach?
say that.
I did.
You say regulators.
Approach. Don't I have RA up there? Okay.
science,
Yeah,
everything.
That's true.
Then would you talk on the second one? You could add here. You could add here. Let's see.
All is in the first paragraph.
Right. You could add a C.
What is this, just the C? Culture?
No.
Not the complaint approach.
No.
C could be in anything.
Consumers?
No.
What
A.
are they? Cat?
No.
I
P.
CAP?
What's
Capital?
I heard it. I heard it.
Capital?
What's it? What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
I heard it in the back, yeah.
You see C, and what else?
P?
P. P.
P as in
Capital climate?
You better come to Mazachi class thinking. No, maybe capital.
Okay, I already said capability, fine and correct.
I heard it.
Capacity.
Capacity. And
That
what
was
you
me,
are
Lisa.
writing. I heard it.
Lisa, that was us.
Why you get us not?
The capacity in which you're writing is
What
that
that
who
mean?
you are that is speaking to
Yes.
this employee.
Yes.
So you will say, I am speaking as a whomever.
Compliance,
Officer.
Oh,
No,
corporate
they come back and
secretary.
you say you speak as- It's officer.
corporate secretary.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Risk.
And all of them
And all this
is
in
in one paragraph.
paragraph, it's
You
a
have to
lot.
learn, what the second word is?
That's all my
Concise.
We understand, Jesus.
Okay, so you better know how to put
I would never
semicolon,
think it's not
colon, colon.
I would have never think about all of that.
Yeah. Like, 'cause I saw some guys that said
but
days I
capacity
actually
will
really
make you speaking.
Okay.
Yes.
Reminds me right now, that special transaction paper.
Yes, it's to the point,
It was
to the point.
very easy, very simple.
Sean was actually, them was here last week and then they leave me early this week.
You see that?
What you need to do is.
Sarah hanging in, Sarah hanging in.
Sarah's still here. Sarah ain't going, the pillow's still here.
2, but you can write in the second paragraph. What is the approach? So you can talk about the approach.
You made it, right?
Made it. I mean, if they write this approach, what? I don't know, yeah, I don't know what was in it.
I guess for the second one, you can emphasize it.
The expanded.
So the first one you just indicated, right, military space.
What is reg?
Required.
Oh, that's a Q?
It's a Q.
It's a
It is a Q, it can't be a G. When Luke would have been opposite, right?
And that's with
And
the
when you go on
company.
the central bank, yes, when you go on the central bank website, they speak from the very beginning when they started their risk-based approach and what it means, what it entails.
So, Ms. Archer, sorry, when we were speaking about from the company's perspective, we should have already indicated in the first paragraph which company or the type of company.
Right here,
I mean, we stated the sector.
But it's a financial
Yeah,
services
financial
firm.
sector, yeah,
Oh,
financial
okay.
services firm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do we have to write on that? Can I write on my own that too?
Yes.
That's the whole, why
They
did you
said
think I
that
went to
your-
the first
your
part of
choice.
the talk? So you could get an idea how this applies.
To your
To what you
industry
do.
and what you do.
Doesn't have to be the financial sector. I told you before in this class we had air traffic controllers, you had police officers, all different sectors, construction. You have to apply it to your laws, your framework. You feel good? Why?
Jesus be a friend all around us.
What do you mean there's only one? I only give you one.
I know they say,
Old house
it's only
idea.
one, we have 6 more to do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't giving you the old
I
six.
know.
I never would have think to put on the list for this.
But it's one question.
Especially part three, with
this
the five by the-
So what you was going to write for
I
three
mean, I
hundred
try to
words?
sound 1 and 2, but 3, I don't,
So how you getting that?
I don't know, I just don't want to sound like a tie, really tie in. And what we talking about is the regulators.
Okay.
No, but it will be important to let them know that the company's requirements seen as how they're used staff.
So
They
it's
don't
They will,
staff.
they will
You have to know why.
understand,
So if
this is what
that
they
means
require,
the sector requires.
and this is how our
and how it
company
applies
can
to
say.
us.
So it's what the company requires based on the regulations or whatever.
What, no. From a risk-based approach, what does the regulator expect from you?
That's what I mean, what was required based on the regulations by the regulator?
No, this is not a regulation, this is the regulator's approach. Once you explain what a risk-based approach is, what does the regulator expect from you? What do they expect to see when they come on an on-site examination? That's what you explain to them. So if you say the regulator has a risk-based approach, what does that mean? That means that the institution must know its inherent risk.
Right, so that's part 2 then.
What's part 2, Brian?
No, don't answer. Everybody have to
Brian.
write their own answer.
Brian.
So, Ms. Archer,
Yes.
what would be my regulated approach? Number
Yeah,
2.
but she said that's all.
What the
Second
people name?
paragraph might be a hard-
You don't have a regulator.
Paragraph, one
You have the
paragraph,
audit.
paragraph
The
two.
audit,
For
right,
question
we have,
one.
government
Yes.
audit.
So
Yeah,
that's
what they name
paragraph-
again?
that's
That's mine.
Paragraph 2, what I just said.
Oh, what the audit fella name?
The,
Who does the audit for
Terrence?
government?
Terrence?
Yes, Terrence,
Yeah.
yes.
On board, and that means
Yeah,
the
you don't have a
two-
regulator,
Which
you have an
two
auditor.
talking
right,
Yeah,
the auditor general.
Auditor General.
Yeah.
That's
about?
who
No, all
you,
this for question one.
that's who regulates you. Okay? So all of the other questions, that's what you have to do.
That's a lot.
There's not a lot, you need to answer the question. So you would have gone writing all kind of things, then you would have cut it down and cut it down and cut it down.
To nothing.
To nothing. Because whatever you would have written for 300 words would not have answered the question.
Right.
The actual question is this.
I know.
That's why we're happy to have you for guidance.
So, Ms.
And it'll be
Archer,
great to have you for guidance for the other 6.
Well, flattery don't work at all. Flattery don't work at all. I have to tell you, that don't work at all. It was really flattery, that don't work at all.
all the regulators.
You still end up by yourself in the rest.
Yeah, how
You might
would
get
you
judged
tell
for
people
what
when
you
it's a rules based, if you're
Right.
providing a rules based, so you say you have a rules based
You
approach.
might say,
Is it just like it's taking
I just want to talk to y'all about today.
Yeah, you have a rules based approach.
I'm the married.
That implemented?
This should be easy for y'all.
No,
But I mean, this
no,
all
when
regular.
implemented,
Some of
talking
these, some of
about
these things
when,
that she,
did they actually, like for this, for a regulator,
That's why I tell her.
the website tells you when they started the risk-based approach. Yours have always been rules-based approach.
Right, okay.
So you don't have to say when implemented,
Okay,
right?
so what is the?
Because you're a government entity.
Rules-based, right. So
Then you have to explain what does that mean? What does the Auditor General expect?
Okay,
What do he needs to see in place?
okay,
So it's different from the financial sector, which is risk-based, your rules-based.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know, that's what I'm saying, that's why.
Go trick-or-treating now, bye.
We fit, Jesus Lord, it's 7:30. Y'all time to go home. Yeah, she's here, it's time to go. Oh, why you sit there? Sarah,
hey,
she said we can go home. Woo-hoo.
just gotta write it.
I can't call your name when I give you custody. I can't call you when I give you custody.
That work.
You don't always be there.
No, you don't always be there. We gotta message you in advance, and tell you when you coming in there.
Be there.
Oh, no, we ain't gonna have a social there. We just come walk where you with. And start.
Alright, so we start unit 2 next week.
How long is 2 is, let me see.
Say we'll focus on those 5 first.
Saturday is starting off.
Do not wait until the last minute to start writing more.
Yeah,
You need to start now. As you read, begin to add to the question. As you move into the chapter to see more, you add to it. So if you get started now, it's okay. I'm finished question 1. Then as we move on
That's
to
why I say,
something else, you add it to
Every
the
week we should be working on a
And then by the
question.
end of it, you should be able to have fun with it.
It's good to do a free speech, you see what I mean?
Then you need to tie that in.
One at a time.
So you need to get started. Question 1 is finished.
Basically, you just gotta put it on
As
the,
you,
on the
as
computer.
you move through each chapter, I was telling you, you may see more things on the rules, things through. You add it to your draft. And at the end of the day, because that's what you will tell what, January?
Child, I write rather
So no, I'm saying, at the end of the day, you finish your draft.
wait for 2
You
weeks.
know, on
Oh,
it,
yeah,
it's
sure.
450 words or whatever it is. You know then what you need to take out. But you know it has everything in it up to that point. For the question 2, do the same thing. Whatever you've learned so far from unit 1, add it to the question. Same thing for 3, same thing for 4. As you move to each chapter, you add to it and then you trim it.
So it'll be like an ongoing.
It's on, yes, because you have so many, not as if you have just one big question. You have lots of small little pieces, and you have to answer them precisely. Because you may find out you wrote something from chapter 2 on it, but when you went to 3, guess what, it contradicts. I need to take that out and put this in. But you have to start now. Okay?
So what you feel overwhelmed.
You won't feel overwhelmed because you're gonna panic. You're gonna panic, and you're not gonna miss it. Would you let me? Yeah, okay.
Okay, so.
All right.
We have a good evening.
Yes.
Thank you.
Unit 2.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
3 days.
Sonia.